Good to go. All right, folks, well, 7 o'clock, or a little after, welcome to the Town of Pompey Zoning Board of Appeals. Tonight, we got two applicants in front of us. Yeah, we'll review these one at a time. First of all, introduce the board. I'm Dave Hale. I'll be chairing tonight for Dave Tesher, who's up there on the big screen, all the way from Florida. And to my far left, Don Nugabar. My left is Kevin Sharp. All the way to my right, Sierra Haynes and Sarah. Last name
Legit.
Okay. So with that, the gonna ask to make sure the application fees have been paid. We're gonna start with Martha first,
Yes.
and the fees, she says yes, have been paid, properly advertised.
Yes.
Okay. Neighbors' notice has been sent.
Yes.
Okay. And county planning review, if required, has been all set with that.
Yes.
All right. Got that all set. With that, we have a secret review that we have to do, but first we're gonna hear from the applicant, but I'll read off what the application is. Folks, you're gonna have to bear with me. This is the first time, so this is history for me. All right, the application by DeMarco and Diane Mazza, saying it correctly?
Yes.
All right, located at 1797 Bruin Road. Tax parcel 029.06-09.1. Located within the farm zoning district. We're seeking a relief on a proposed subdivision. The applicants are requesting 2 area variants that will give relief for the minimum frontage requirements. The farm zone district requires a minimum of 200 feet of frontage. The application are requesting an area variance for proposed lot 2B. The request is for 2 feet of relief as the parcel is labeled as having an approximately 198 feet. Also, the applicant is seeking an area variance for proposed lot 2A. Proposed lot 2A is landlocked partial, which is located behind an adjacent parcel identified as tax parcel 011.05-03.1. That is also owned by the applicant and is in the town of Lafayette. The applicant is requesting a relief through an area variance for the 200 foot of minimum road frontage as required in the farm district. Local law, chapter 165 zoning, attached 1, schedule limiting the use in land. In here, there's in the application, it describes, and in your own words, I'll try to read this out. Oh, and I also, sorry, didn't introduce our town attorney. Sorry, Amelia.
Right.
Yeah, and our code Tim Barrett. So I'll probably be leaning over there a little bit tonight. It says, describe how the strict application of the law would produce undue hardship. And they had wrote, by not allowing us access to use the Lafayette printing is coming, strip of land. It is making the Pompey lot behind it landlocked. If we try and then subdivide it to give to our children, that's okay. The thin triangle parcel of the Lafayette takes up most of the road frontage. Lafayette does not have any issue with the 0.89 part, that is in question as per their letter. And we have a letter stating, okay, make sure that's Describe how the hardship created is unique and is not shared by all properties in the immediate vicinity of the property. After talking with both Pompey and Lafayette, each town has said they have never come across this problem before. Of the 13.49 acre lot we own, there is a 0.89 acre parcel that is in Lafayette. Again, yeah, Lafayette parcel is triangle shaped and is restricting access to the Pompey parcel. Lafayette and does not object to that parcel being used as an access to the Pompey parcel. All that is required is a legal driveway be installed there. And there is a driveway already established? Okay,
Just kind of curious, is it on one or the other lot?
It's on the one with the Lafayette side.
Okay.
describe how the variance would observe the spirit of the zoning law and would not change the character of the district. Since the 0.89 acre parcel cannot legally be sold separately, the character of the entire lot itself will not change. Since there is a driveway already established, not much will be changed. This will not affect any of the other homes in the area. And it's signed by Diane and date 7/29/24. Good. It's all respected. There's a survey map here, and we have a big one also. It's all set. I guess with that being all said, everybody's all good with it. I need a motion to open the hearing.
I'll give you a motion. Open hearing.
Okay,
I'll second.
you got a second? All right, all in favor, say aye.
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 All right. There's Dave. Aye.
Aye.
All right, the floor is yours. You wanna tell us what you got going on?
Come up or?
Yeah, you can stand or state your name.
Wherever you're
Wherever.
comfortable.
Wherever. You want to stay sitting, that's,
I mean, he basically said what he wanted to do. We're
Right.
trying to do a lot line adjustment. From Berwin to Fountain. Trying to do the lot line adjustment, bring our property back and give the kids, what was it, 4.78 acres apiece.
okay,
And I don't think it should be this hard, honestly,
right,
because, and I get the triangle part and everything else, but you can't sell that land anyway, so what difference does it make if for us to get across that land? And you can, all you gotta do, it's gonna be sold as the same parcel anyways, you can't sell it separate.
It
Right.
can't be separate from 2A. What you're proposing is 2A.
Yes.
Okay.
It can't be sold at all, so I know, I realize you're worried because it's in another town, but it's never gonna be able to be sold.
So it'll never.
And it's gonna be as sold as the whole lot has to be
Okay.
sold as.
It's just a little complicated.
It's yeah,
Not problematic.
Okay,
So,
and
all right.
Amelia has the letter and this. It's gonna be deeded as part of this property, but you'll never be able to separate or sell different off of it.
Yeah, we can
So-
put that in. I have no problem.
I don't know,
I have no problem with our lawyer putting that in.
And that's a bit outside of the scope, because it doesn't matter to us, even if it stays as two parcels.
Mhm.
Our biggest concern was that it creates a landlocked parcel in Pompey, which is why we needed Lafayette to say, hey, are you cool with this lot's only purpose being an access?
And they were.
Which they were.
right, right,
Water's right here.
yep,
Yeah.
Yep.
We have the letter.
okay,
actually, can I just clarify that point? Is that little triangle piece of property, is that what makes 2A landlocked?
Yes.
Got it.
So it's technically landlocked, the Pompey piece, but
Technically,
not
and there's
really because
visible
they
wall
have to
that you
be
can't get
sold
Yes.
together.
Okay.
Exactly. Exactly. This is the original location.
yeah. And we also, had that also, that's it, okay.
And so if you need anything else from them, let me know. And that's why we're asking for the 2B lot. Because it comes to, if we give them, if we did split it straight down the middle,
Mm-hmm.
that means he's going, this guy over here is gonna get what, $5 bill from Lafayette. Or property taxes and everything else. So that's why we were trying to ask for the 2-foot
Okay,
variance for that. It just didn't make sense to us,
and that's the variance that's in front of us, is this,
both, yeah.
and lot 2A
Mhm.
is Lafayette's gonna give it, yeah, the easement.
Yeah.
So.
So with that in mind, the property line's gonna have a slight jog.
Kind of a slight job,
Okay.
yes. If that's okay with you guys.
Where's the drive?
Driveway is.
It's not it's a field drive, so field approach drive.
This is driveway.
So this exists,
That exists already. We have.
and that's been approved by our county.
Or it's already been put in like 5 years ago. I got the paperwork.
Just referenced it.
If you need to see paperwork, you got that.
And I just wanted to clarify based on your comment that it's not that Lafayette is giving them the easement, they're giving themselves an easement. To the 2 properties, it'll be recorded, so when they sell it, it's gonna be recorded. It's just that Lafayette said it's okay for that triangle's only purpose to serve as an easement.
Gotcha, okay. Yes, if you're done explaining, then I open it up to the board.
Well, actually, one question, just so I'm looking at it correctly. And on this piece right here, this is all part of this property.
Right now, yeah. See this line right
Yeah,
here?
what is that line?
This line is the original where our house property originally
Okay.
ends there. We bought this lot like 5 years after.
Oh, okay,
From Mr.
that explains it. So
Okay.
this property here is gonna stay with you.
It's gonna stay with us
Okay,
But you're moving the line.
and we're moving the line
Yeah,
down so that we get equal parcels, because we're trying to be fair to both.
my
of them.
first fear of when I heard the term landlocked, I was thinking, is that this?
No,
Yeah, so I'm good, I understand
no,
that.
so this will be incorporated into our,
So your property line is moving.
yes.
Yeah, okay.
Don,
Yes.
so in the planning board stage with their subdivision, they're doing a lot line adjustment as well as the subdivision.
Okay, but the lot line adjustment has nothing to do with us, other than you just explained what it was.
Yeah.
Okay,
So that part has nothing to do, it's our property after the fact.
Okay.
So that's gonna be, allowed to go back to there. You're just trying to get it so that the kids get equal.
There's driveway.
I get it.
No, he has to,
No, yes.
he has to apply for
Approach the
that,
county,
but
yeah.
he can't do that yet until it gets in his name.
Right.
These are both approved building lots, I assume.
Approved, yeah, they're not approved.
No.
No, not.
Good, because of the 198.
No, no.
It needs a 2-foot variance for that.
A comment too, our comments from the county said that the applicant must ensure legal cross access is reflected on the filed subdivision map. I don't see that on this version. Is there a newer version that has the easement showing on the triangle?
Yeah, is that where it says
Showing
you
easement on this triangle?
approach driveway?
Driveway.
That, current.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not on this now yet.
It's not.
The annotations on the map still need to be changed, but we want to make sure we have the right verbiage. What works for you guys.
I've already asked the surveyor to change this like 3 times.
Mm.
So.
What do they want?
The triangle section should show that it's an easement, so it doesn't yet. So they have the easement document that they're gonna get filed, but it should show up on the map, so it's not on this version. So, you know, we can move forward with the review and, you know, potential approval, but conditioned upon an updated map showing the easement on that triangle, and then they can bring that and have that.
Okay.
Are they giving an easement to themselves?
Yes,
I didn't think,
Got it.
everyone's telling me you can't do that to ourselves.
it's because it's two separate lots.
Okay.
That plus the map showing the easement's always there. It's kind of unconventional. That's the only way
Okay, so here's.
you're effectively merging two lots into two different municipalities. This is literally like the only way you can do it.
Okay.
Yeah, there's something in that triangle, yeah, that shows that that's basically just using it.
We don't need that out here. It's it.
Correct, yeah, just that your decision will be conditioned on that, on the map before it's filed.
So what they're requesting is a 2-foot variance. And if they didn't need the 2 foot, they wouldn't need to be here. Is that
No.
correct?
Another one lot.
2 and 200, right? Two separate.
The other,
Well, the one variance is a 2-foot issue,
Yep,
Right.
2B
Mhm.
is the 2-foot issue.
correct?
Because they're splitting that lot.
mhm.
Yeah, because it's not 200 feet, it's 198, yeah, so there's that, it's kind of, yeah, like a jinky line.
No, I get that, but is there another variance that's needed here?
Yeah.
That's getting over Lafayette.
Yeah, we're doing a landlocked here, but we're
Okay.
doing it because of the easement and the letter from the town on the triangle.
Right, but the easement makes it no longer landlocked.
Correct,
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
but it's in a different municipality. We have to-
Yeah, no, I, that part, yeah, thank you.
That's got plenty of.
The other one, yeah. The other one's just missing 2 foot. And less than 2 foot.
yeah, it's less than 50. You look at first.
And you expect to have any issues putting driveways in?
I'm looking at lot 2B, there's plenty of clearance there,
Mhm.
both ways.
You've never even looking into all that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the triangle.
So, but
That's
that's
the road.
451 here, this 451, wasn't making it.
I'm gonna say that's the whole line across the whole
That's
distance.
good, right? Because if this is almost 200. Yeah, that's the frontage. So this right here is from here to
Oh,
here,
it,
or just,
probably the total.
I think the
frontage of
451,
lot there
Kevin,
now.
is the frontage of both lots.
Yeah,
to be.
Yeah.
I think it's just a lot, yeah, I would imagine.
No, it's not.
That's like
No,
double
because the
size
other
of this.
side is only 2.
I don't think that's trouble.
It's gotta be the whole,
Yeah. I
the
think
whole
it's
front.
the-
I think that's a frontage across both lots.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because at the angle, look how it changes at, this is 502. Yeah, on the other side of the road, yeah, because of the angle of it.
Yeah,
It's gotta be the whole.
yeah, and there's a 148 right here.
Mhm.
That runs from the town line to the end. This is, yeah, from here, yeah.
Yeah, yep. Of that
I don't
angle,
really, I don't,
because it's on the other side of the
I
road.
guess not showing the road frontage for that lot. You know what I'm saying?
Or is that the center, is that the center of the road?
The,
This is the frontage, right?
for the Lafayette and 198,
Wow.
there's a
okay.
frontage for.
So-
Yeah.
So lot 2A has 250 feet of frontage.
More than that.
451.
Well,
Well, 450 minus 200.
No,
no,
I could do that.
Be square.
I hope so.
So it will be longer. I could do the math.
Well, and if you look at the Berwin Road side, that's like 383 and it's a little smaller.
Yeah, you.
So that would make sense, but it's like 450, it's a little wider.
Right?
But even if you look here, it's like 591, so that plus that is a little over 600.
How much is it? This is 600.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes more
When
sense.
451, you think it's on there.
So
Yeah,
so therefore, we're just calling this 200, this lot has 250 feet of frontage.
On the computer, it does appear that's 400 and,
So Lafayette road frontage on that lot.
yeah.
It's not, it's not.
Well, he can fix that when he fixes it.
And that's this is drawn to scale, it's never close.
I'm not sure.
Oh,
Green
so
was.
in Lafayette,
Yeah,
there is a difference in the reserve for the highway. In Pompey, it's 40 feet off the center line. In Lafayette, it's not 40 feet. So it's actually closer to the center line, so it actually gives it more frontage in Lafayette, if that makes sense. You got the old map?
Yeah, I've got the original old map.
You have these two.
That's the original.
Yeah, you come back here.
You get this, by 91. You slide everything back, if these are all straight line,
There's just something a little wonky.
because there's 502 from here to here.
Because these are.
Yeah, that number doesn't set well.
This is only-
On the old map, it's the same way.
Mhm.
We got 502 for the center line
When we originally bought it.
and 148 for the center line of the road.
the lot does get narrow as it goes in the direction of Berlin Road.
Right.
It narrows some,
Right.
not a lot.
No, just angles.
It's 170 degree, right? That's a degree. And so, or is it?
I still think it's accurate.
The 451 is.
Yeah, the full.
It's the Lafayette.
Yeah, if you take the 451 and minus the 200, the lot 2A has 250 feet of road frontage.
But they're saying it's got 450.
No, I think the 451 is of course both lots.
That's what I was thinking as well.
I think this lot has 198 and they add both together, it's 451 total, which gives that one 250.
There's.
Right, it would have to be
way
both.
more
Yeah,
That's-
there's way more than that.
than-
Because it's all farm fields
So definitely.
and that's driveways like right over there.
Right.
So that, and it's more than that.
Actually, just looking at the, since it's not a square, it has to be more.
Yeah.
Well, I guess can you clarify that with the surveyor?
Yes.
Yeah, the total frontage for the whole property, like how they live on this top side.
Well, at this point, we're saying we're not sure the numbers seem right to us. Because that front line should be the 450.
This is 300 and you're. So know how much you rely on what I'm seeing versus, if it's drawn to scale, this is 200 from this point, I guess, from this corner to,
Tip of the
which
triangle.
would be, yeah,
The tip of the,
Close to 200.
198.
should be like right there, it's almost 200.
Right.
Yes, and then from that point to this point on the road
Mhm.
is 451.
No, it's 250. Because I think the 450 is for both lots.
Well, why would they put that on there?
No,
Why would
it
they-
can't be.
Because the lot actually widens, and if it's almost 600 down here, there's no way it's 450 in front. Then put these together, you get really 600.
You almost right.
It's 650,
Yeah, where's this?
it's 591.
Yeah, that makes sense because it's a little bit wider on the top than the
But
bottom.
that makes this 451 and that one 200. 198.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look drawn.
It doesn't, I get,
It's
yes,
just what's bothering.
because it is narrower in the back by this illustration.
Mhm.
So you're almost at 600 right here.
And again, that's
Yeah, it doesn't really.
not.
No, we're just
nothing to
trying
do
to
with our- with
thing.
Why you're here.
figure the numbers out.
It would be
Just
helpful,
It's just a,
it would be helpful too if they notated the distance between this dotted line and here. This is the county line or the town line and the corner. Because that would make it nearest to walk. What do you think?
and this. Scale. It's 383, you go down to here and this. In that corner, this corner.
It's a lot wider than our. that property.
And I'm sure it's over, you're not here for a variance on the side of the area variance, but. And I'm not, I don't know. If that 451.94 is correct, if This seems like this would have to be either just wider than this guy. I don't know if anybody else is concerned about that, but
Well,
Well, that's because
Yeah,
it's
that
jog,
doesn't matter.
it's jogging over here,
it's from this point right here.
yeah.
From this
The road,
point, yeah,
and that's gonna jog in,
right from there.
right, and then to where they're gonna be.
Yeah, this part. This would come down here, but still, when I'm looking, so from here to here, it's 200. And if you go that same distance. You get another 250 on this. If that's of any concern tonight.
Well, the only impact, I guess, is whether or not an additional variance is needed for one of the lots having less than 200 square feet of.
that doesn't seem possible. I mean, there's no question there's more than 400 there.
More than 400.
On the
On the
top.
Lafayette side.
As long as more than 400, they only need a 2-foot variance. On the one lot.
If that's.
And that's just the road, and that's just the road frontage, and that would be,
Hey, Tim, any chance you got a ruler?
What's the original map show for the road? Is that number?
So the other map just shows the center line of the road.
Okay.
It was 500. Off that parcel. Center line of the road, the property side.
It's not.
Like the total there, but it's definitely more than 400 total based on just that. Right.
We got 2, right on the corner. There's 3, and then 4, so it's almost 2 inches, which makes it almost 400 feet,
yeah, that's what I thought.
but not 450.
They're giving you footage here if you drew the line straight across.
Wait,
There's 269.
Well, that's on the town line.
Yeah. This is a Lafayette.
Yeah. Measure from this point to that.
There's the 4.
You have
That's
more
an
than,
inch.
you have
That's
more
200.
than, if you have more than,
Yeah.
So it's more than two
are
hundred.
we sure that it's not 198?
Okay, here's what I'm saying. The survey says 1 inch is 200 feet,
Right,
and you've got more than an inch.
okay, yeah,
And
I
you
see
have,
that.
and you have more than, well more
I
than
see
an inch
that.
here. So
yeah, so
I-
there,
I would say for the sake of myself tonight, it doesn't, I'm not 100% sure you still need a variance, but if you do, I'm okay with saying yes to 2
Yeah,
feet.
can we do it
Okay.
like that? Say
Mhm.
yes, and
Okay.
if you get it remeasured and don't need it, great.
If we approve a variance, can they go back and undo the whole variance? And just
Say
throw it
it's like
away?
not needed.
If it wasn't needed, and how soon can
It's
that
not
happen?
needed. Yeah, at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is the map that's filed. So
Right.
it's only gonna be a problematic map if it was approved based on a variance that it was approved without a variance that was needed.
We have some
If we're
too.
approving it with a variance that wasn't needed, then I don't see that. being a
We
problem.
don't get made a copy of it. So other than
Well,
that, I would
well,
just-
but then we still need to
public-
be doing the-
Yeah.
200.
Who knows what
landlocked.
can happen?
I have one.
That's why I got all this.
Yep.
Okay.
It still needs a variance because of the land,
Correct,
so.
That part,
they have to do
yes.
it.
yes.
The 2-foot thing, I think we should go ahead and do it. Because just like I said, if we do it and the map was wrong, it's where they didn't need it. Doesn't matter, it doesn't matter, but if they approve it
Right, no harm,
and
no
they
foul.
didn't get the variance that they need, then. So,
Okay.
Okay,
okay,
You bring that to the point, I guess, but yeah, it's okay.
hey, Dave, have you followed any of that?
Yes, I have.
really?
Well,
It's very tiny on my map, but I do see some confusion. But in the end, this board can approve something, I don't want to say it, less than what the applicant is asking for. He's asking for 198. We could approve 190. And if there's some error there, they're going to be all right. But if it happens to come out to be 199 and they need 199 and we only approved 198, then they gotta come back. So if it's
We'd rather not do it.
210, we're both covered. So I'd stick with the 198 at a minimum. If you think it's gonna be shorter, well, you could offer less, but I'm good with the 198.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
We didn't, I was gonna
I've got-
open it up to the public.
I've got a couple other comments, if I could.
Okay.
They're probably lost by now.
You're doing a good job so far. Thank you. And none of us knew how this was going to work out with this remote. I think it's working out great.
I didn't introduce Veronica.
On the-
also, so I'm sorry.
On the final map, you mentioned the line that's going to be lot line adjustment on the what is it? Lot 1A.
Yes.
So you've got a line across the middle. I assume that's going to disappear with your lot line adjustment.
Yep.
Okay, and oh, on the 40 feet from the center line, that's typical in Onondaga County. They typically have a 80-foot easement or right of way or ownership for their roads. So that's where 40 feet comes from for Onondaga County. On the two lots of 2A, you've got one, it's going to be one parcel in Pompey and one parcel in Lafayette. I'd like to see the acreages of both of those put in there, and then with a final acreage to make it clear of what proportion is happening in each town. I think that's important for somebody reading the record and wondering what the details are. I didn't see an acreage listed for the lot in Lafayette.
88.
And the 4.8 acres, I don't know if that's for the Pompey parcel or the Pompey and Lafayette parcel.
It's for the total parcel.
That is
Is
total.
it?
Those are both about 5 acres, just under.
7, 8.
Well, I'd like to see the acreage of the Lafayette one listed.
Gary, did you say you saw 0.89?
For Lafayette, that's what it says, either
Is
in
it
the
on there?
letter, I think from, it's not on the map, but I think either the letter from the town.
Oh, the
or-
0.89.
Yeah, somewhere it says that, in the app, in your application.
Yeah, what I read on in the beginning.
Hey, I'd like to see that included in your,
Survey map.
well, in your vote too, in
Yeah,
our
okay.
vote to show the relative size. That's all. Otherwise, I'm in favor of it. I think it's a good plan for a good sized lot.
I'll open up to the public. Does anybody have any comments? This? Okay, back to us.
So, just another note, the other thing that the county recommended, like the wetland delineation and those 4 things. Is that something?
DOT, that'll come into play when you want to build on the lot. So when you go to
It
the
has nothing to
planning
do with us
board.
dividing it.
Correct, yeah, so it's just. The county will make those recommendations, because those are things you're going to need when you do whatever.
But it doesn't,
Doesn't impact the grant of variance.
what about the subdivision process in general with the planning board? Does it need to be done before then?
Yeah, it will, yeah, you'll need to, well, no, it depends on when you do your subdivision, are you doing any site plan application and that kind of thing too, or you're just? doing
Just the subdivision.
So
And
that be conditional on the wetland survey?
Well, you guys had the wetland survey done, right?
Well, we got the federal wetland map, which is here, which we sent to everybody, and the wetlands are nowhere near where we'd be building in the field. So
So the town engineer who isn't here and but he's at the planning board meetings, there is the one who can openly on anything the planning board has concerns about for wetlands delineation. So yeah, I can't.
I think often sure, our environmental commission is usually at the planning board meetings. So they may have some comment on that too. I'm not sure how required it is, but if you can show a map of where it's supposed to be, that may satisfy them. But that doesn't matter to this board at this point.
Right, okay. So before we vote, you want to do the short environmental assessment form?
Yeah, we can do seeker.
Secret.
So, do you want me to read the questions or?
You want to do-
Sure, I had
okay.
a feeling. Okay, so we're gonna go through 11 questions. The answers are either gonna be no or small impact may occur, or moderate to large impact may occur. Once we have answered all the questions, then we'll make our determination of significance. So, and so we'll do the seeker based on the two variances. One is the having a landlocked parcel, and the other one is the
2 foot.
2-foot difference.
Okay.
So when answering these questions, you'll want to consider. That stops us from having to do it twice. Okay, so first question, will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use plan or zoning regulations?
I'm saying no to or little.
You all agree on that? Yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
Yes.
Will the proposed action result in a change in the use or intensity of use of the land?
No.
Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community?
Say no.
No.
Sierra, yeah,
Okay. Will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of a critical environmental area?
No.
no,
Will the proposed action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkways?
No.
I don't think so.
Will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonably available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities?
Nothing, no,
Will the proposed action impact existing public and private water supplies or public and private wastewater treatment utilities?
You have to say maybe a little on that if you're digging a well.
private wastewater, I mean, that would be if you're on a septic or a sewer.
Water.
But
Also,
this
the
is,
action right now is just the variances, not all the site plan approval, so. So no on those. It's
Right.
not impact. Okay. Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources?
No.
No,
No.
unless you start digging and seeing. See that show.
Will the proposed action result in an adverse change to natural resources, examples, wetlands, water bodies, groundwater, air quality, flora, and fauna?
I think, no,
No.
Will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems?
not that I see, no,
Will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health?
No.
no,
And so you'll want to make a motion, that this is that no, adverse negative environmental impacts are anticipated.
Okay, so we need a motion for that.
I'm not sure I could say that.
So a negative declaration, you want to issue a negative declaration,
So a negative declaration is there's no impact on the 11 questions.
correct? Yeah.
Okay, so
So
that's a
does
separate
that-
motion from the variance?
Yes, this is your secret determination.
Okay.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Aye, yeah. To hand this off to. you, right?
Sarah,
Sarah,
will keep it, yeah, for the
okay.
record.
This is check this box if you have determined based on the information. Check this box if you have determined based on the information. You see that? Signature.
This side, I'll do the rest.
Okay.
Discuss the area variance criteria, which we are looking at. And
And then I have that right here in front of me, someplace buried. Okay. So, yeah, we have an area variance criteria that we balance and test. That we go through. Board of Appeals shall balance benefit to the applicant were determined to health, safety, and welfare of the community. Board of Appeals shall also consider. Number one, whether the benefit can be achieved by other means feasible to the applicant.
I would say no.
No? Okay. Number two, undesirable change in the neighborhood character or determined to the nearby properties.
No.
No, no,
Whether the request is substantial?
I'd say no.
no,
Well, yeah, okay, all right. Whether the request will have adverse physical or environmental effects.
No.
no,
You know, on that, okay. Here's the other one, yeah, the clunker. Whether the alleged difficulty is self-created.
I'm saying yes to that.
That's
Yeah.
it. So,
well, the only thing that wasn't self-created was the fact that a municipal boundary line crosses their course.
right,
That is why we have to do this,
right.
landlocked thing and the easement and the,
But
so that wasn't their fault.
the 2 foot thing is,
Yeah.
that's why they're here, yeah,
Mhm.
okay. So now we need a motion to approve the 2 foot variance and the word this right. The Lafayette,
The easement,
The easement.
well, yeah, it's, we're approving a landlocked parcel essentially.
yep,
And we're doing that because the town of Lafayette is comfortable with that triangle being an easement. They're going to, it's gonna be with a recommendation that the easement is shown on the map. We do need that added to the map, in addition to the measurement of the
what
triangle.
David had suggested, yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. And I feel like that come up before. And yeah, I care more about the easement on the map than the written easement, but the county might just want that just to create it.
Just
for the
so it
map
sees,
purposes.
yes.
Even though you're granting the easement to yourself, which you
Okay.
normally can't, we're merging 2 parcels.
Yes.
Do it.
So 0.89 acres has to go on there and the easement has to be in there too.
Correct.
Perfect.
can we make the Lafayette letter a condition? I know it's there, we have it, but somehow attach it in our motion.
Yeah, we'll mention it, so it's in the minutes that we received a letter from the town of Lafayette
Right.
approving it.
Okay.
Okay,
Is that all part of the motion?
yeah, conditional on having the letter from Lafayette, which we have, but
We already have it, right?
Yeah, but if
Yeah.
it's a condition, yeah, I understand what you're saying, and because it's a condition for our approval.
It has
Yeah.
to be there, it should be shown.
It has to be shown, yeah, so I think that's,
Yeah.
we have it, but we're saying that we needed it to approve.
Right.
okay.
Did you need the original?
I'll start a motion and anybody jump in when I miss something. I'm in favor of a motion for the 2-foot variance on lot 2B. With the contingencies of, one, the Lafayette letter is attached to the application that says they're approving the conditional landlocked property being part of the lot 2A. The corrected survey has to show the easement. And we also have concerns. We like the numbers of 451.94 and 198.97 corrected because we think that they're not correct. But we don't at this point feel like that's going to keep us from granting the variance.
Okay, I think we have to say though, we're also doing the 200-foot variance, right? Because we have two separate ones, right?
Well, the
We're
variance-
granting
No.
2 foot and 200,
The 200 being the landlocked parcel?
right?
Yeah, so the variance isn't that it's less than 200 though, it's that it's land.
It's.
Okay,
like-
okay.
Yeah,
You don't
because
have to
it's
say 200, okay.
No.
Yeah,
Did we get everything in?
Did that sound right? So we need a second.
Second.
We got a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 I,
Okay,
Sorry.
it's been carried, all approved. Do we make the hit? There you go.
so we'll come to the planning board meeting.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm gonna get hold of you tomorrow.
I think we have some time, when I'll get next. It is in February.
Yeah, we had some this morning.
January 17th.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah. Thank you.
Can I just get your name?
Dominic Mazza?
Good. Guess we're good with that one. All right.
He said it's doing good.
He's the one who's got through a lot. At Pennsylvania. So he's got to sell his house. These guys are already here, driving us crazy.
Oh, my son.
All right. Next to the next applicant, all ready?
Yep.
Okay. The next applicant is Grainer, am I saying it right? Grainer? Grainer, okay, variance. The application by Mark and Deborah Grainer is located at 2010 Cemetery Road, at parcel 030 -03-11.1, located in the farm zone district, who are seeking relief on a proposed subdivision. The applicants are requesting 3 area variances. The applicants are requesting 2 area variances for proposed lot 1A. The first request for lot 1A is for a 70-foot area variance. Lot one A is labeled to have 130 foot of frontage. The minimum allowed frontage is 200 feet. Secondly, lot one A is also requesting relief from an extensive lot depth in which a 2.5 to 1 ratio will normally be considered the maximum. The applicants are also requesting an area variance for the proposed lot one B. This is a landlocked parcel and will need an area variance of 200 feet. Local law, chapter 165, zoning, attachment is 1, schedule limiting the use and land. Chapter 144, subdivision of land, 144-13B. Parentheses 2. Read. Comments.
The staple.
The comments.
Yeah, the staple.
Oh, I don't have it.
Yeah. I think it's that page you have, is it the second one? Yeah, it's just that it's written, yeah.
Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, describe how the strict application of the law would produce undue hardship. The senior citizens age 69 to 72, we are ages 69 and 62, we're unable to maintain so much land that is becoming overgrown with brambles, scrubs, and trees. Growing up. Our oldest son, age 30, could clear this out and build a new single-family home for himself and a family on this proposed 2-acre parcel. The real estate market is bleak at best, and we want to give our son an opportunity to build a home and stay in the town he grew up in. All right. Next question is describe how the hardship created is unique and is not shared by all properties in the immediate vicinity of the property. And their words are, we have frontage on Cemetery and number 5 roads for this parcel. So this is in a unique situation, an opportunity to subdivide and give our 30-year-old son a change to develop the property into his own single-family home. Similar to the others adjacent on small parcels of 1.85 and 1.83 acres. Our son enjoys hiking and grew up walking through and enjoyed the old fish or the fly marsh trails across the street. This would give an opportunity to extend a Pompey home ownership to a 3rd generation and keep our son in Pompey. Next question is describe how a variance would observe the spirit of the zoning law and would not change the character of the district. And their words are, a new rural residence and a 2-acre parcel would perfectly observe the spirit of the zoning law. 3 neighboring single-family homes on even smaller lots of 1.77 acres, tax map 030-03-12.0, and also a 1.85 acre proposed 2 acres lot subdivision. Oh, did I mess up? No, I messed up. I'm sorry. 1 acres. That's lot is 030.03-16.0 and 1.83 acres. Lot number 030.03-17.0 in the parentheses, respectively, are even smaller parcels than our proposed 2-acre lot subdivision. These rural residents are nestled among a park and adjacent farmlands and Christmas tree pumpkin farms. Even still is a 0.4 acre parcel, which is 030.03-11.4 and has under 200 foot of road frontage. There is yet another 1 acre, 0.09 acre parcel. That lot number is 030.101-05-0 and has under 200 foot of road frontage. So all that is signed by the applicant. I guess it's, her name is Deborah Squiggy Sweet on date 10/29/2024. That's been brought in. That all being said, I guess we ask the applicant to discuss what they want to do.
Very, big lot.
Okay,
Running down on the side road. It is getting going over there, but we'll use that part, other than maybe sometimes driving horses around.
mhm.
So we're just trying to parcel it off and give them a chance to build, house.
This is a 30-year-old, okay.
Okay.
All
your
right,
name?
what's your name?
John Paul.
And the road, I can take it from the road, I mean, it's a street, road, but not like, not a lot of driveways, that's heading.
And this is cemetery.
This is number.
This is number 5,
Yeah,
okay, I'm
this is,
sorry.
this is but,
But, okay,
yeah. And then this is heading westbound, so that it's like pretty straight, it's not like on a curve or anything. And then this is kind of how it's getting overgrown,
okay.
it's don't really, other than the little entryways coming in,
You don't plow them anymore. They grow up.
Yeah, I know. And that, so we're hoping to.
Can you show those pictures to the board also? That's first done. Yes, okay, all right.
I just put.
Okay.
I am
You get,
familiar
okay,
with, yeah.
also, all right, so. You gotta explain what you want, I guess we'll listen to the board, what they have to say. Questions? I guess the way I'm understanding it, this lot. Lot 1C. You're gonna put a driveway through the middle of this, to access your property. There is a driveway there now.
What is it, easement or right of way?
It would be an east, yeah,
Yeah, we can access to it.
That the driveway in 1C, that would actually make there'd be a property line there to get, you'd be crossing a property line to get back to where your house is.
Yes,
Okay, so that 1C, that's your first request as far as the property is concerned. That's your subdivision, that's a request.
yes.
And then the other request is on the far up here, the skinny piece.
Yep.
Just kind of curious, how did that end up being like that?
That was just, that's how we bought it. We didn't make it that way. It was
You
the
didn't-
barber's
You didn't
farmland,
do-
and there were a lot of there's a lot of farmland, they divided a bunch of, and that was the apple, piece, and then previously the neighbors got that little piece of it too, that they, that was also part of the barber's, thing.
okay. So right now, this is all one. So, right,
Yes.
okay,
That's 17.
okay. And this is how you've been getting in,
Yeah,
this was your driveway,
yeah,
and by putting a line through here, that cuts you off. So you're asking for they'd have to have an easement through this property, put in the deed.
yes.
And it's cutting the top side off, so it's making 1B landlocked.
And
Is that
one B
correct?
would
Yes.
still
Yes.
remain the majority of the property. One B would remain the majority of the
Yes.
property.
Mhm.
You're looking to build this. Or up here, okay.
And are you talking about two buildings? If you're
Yeah.
talking about a house down here eventually and up
70
there?
feet here, right?
Possibly. I mean, I don't have any plans for it, yeah. Yeah. Place to build a house. One didn't get approved, maybe I'm thinking my mind maybe get one approved, you know.
Okay.
It's 130,000. Six 78. Oh, in this corner. Or that line. Yeah. Would you be looking at the back in the corner someplace? I mean, would that be enough for?
Yeah.
A well and septic? It's pretty narrow here.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a Tim question or who, the 2.5 to 1 ratio. Can you explain the ratio? of
Yeah,
this or
that's the first
something?
time we've had that.
I have-
Yeah.
Relief from excessive lot.
I think it was the long skinny lot is my guess.
That's what I didn't know, if it's like the skinny part is 2.5 to 1, but I don't know what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Maybe Dave has more info on that.
Yeah, I think the idea is that you just didn't have a lot skinny and deep.
Right.
That's a matter of relative opinion, but they put the numbers on it. And
Is it
Is it-
close?
I've tried doing the math a couple times and I'm not sure.
I mean, it's a 2 acre lot.
Which line do you use? You go all the way back. Go 2.5 to 1.
This is 672 from here to here.
He's going. You're right.
Is it possible,
This
is
item, this item.
it 130 times 2.5, it's still less than the 678?
So, yeah.
The road frontage of 130, that's at right now. If you take 130 times 2.5. You're around 330 or so, which is substantially less than the 678, if that's the calculation that we're looking at.
We've never
It's,
did a ratio like that.
yeah, so it's in the code for the design standards. It says excessive depth in relation to the width shall be avoided. A proportion of 2.5 to 1 will normally be considered maximum.
But that's not code.
Yeah, it is in the.
That's code. That's not a
Yeah,
suggestion.
they need a variance on that
Correct,
as
they would need
well.
a variance on it. It's excessively
Right.
long.
So that has two
Compared to what?
variant. We need to do two
So-
on that.
Yeah.
So they're like 5.1. The double what that says.
Right.
They're substantial. 2.5 to 1. We've never had.
This is the one they're discussing right here.
2007.
Oh, 7. And the purpose of that is just to not have a long skinny. strip.
Get away from the street.
If that was 200 feet.
200
you know,
times 2.5 would be 500. So you'd be closer,
But still not, even with a 70-foot variance,
right?
or even with a 100.
You can't do the ratio.
So if that was a 200-foot road frontage, they'd still be here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because of
Because the
the
lot-
portions of.
It's not even.
Just get things out there.
We were originally thinking about building on this road because it was less, busy than saying.
Just curious, how come you didn't move this farther out to give them more land? No, you didn't want to do that,
I could, I guess. Never just take it.
Right.
That make a difference to you guys.
What's on this side
Would be.
of the line?
yeah.
Excuse me, so if you,
Say it.
would it be fair to use this line right here? Yeah. Because it's only narrow and lines. We should change it when you get past here. Does it have? Yeah, it isn't. You have to take the thinner
Yeah.
of the two. Like the back lot line there is 204 and the front is 130. And it's long and skinny, but in the back, it's not skinny. In the back, it's
So they've got a
You have
175 foot. Square
Yeah,
by
we have to
200
use
foot.
this. width,
you have to use this. You can't use that. You can't say.
Because it's all part of the one parcel, so yeah, it's like a 5-sided. So we would still, this first. This is what's.
But you can't use this and this. Based on the fact that this exists.
Right.
To give you that ratio, you have.
Yeah,
I wonder what they were thinking when they were, we need this.
That's what I
parcel.
Or whether you came up with
You know.
that you want.
since
I don't know what's
the
wrong with
It's
it.
probably to avoid.
farmland, and they didn't want to have an easement, they'll do farmland and then remove the strip as opposed
To
to
get
doing
back
an
in
easement.
there.
Other people, so,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
those probably just-
Oh, I see, years ago, yeah, it was just get to the back lot, or something, yeah, years ago.
So what's the third variance? So one of them is to get 70 feet here. The other one is to get this ratio.
Ratio.
And the third one is
because we're making that landlocked. I
The-
guess.
unlandlocked.
Does this have,
Give an easement to this driveway to get back here.
or does this have the required road frontage?
It's got 200.
Yeah, the 170 plus 80.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Guessing.
okay.
It is weird that it's split up.
Yeah, why did
I
they-
don't, would it be either side of the driveway?
Actually, I don't know where
Yeah.
that was.
That was my
It's like
guess.
one, yeah, one side, I.
Okay,
like
this
if
side of
this
the
is
driveway is
driveway.
84,
260.
yeah, 83, okay, so there's nothing required for that.
Yeah, just like you
And that lot is 2.13, okay, yeah.
This
And
one
there's
was
another-
short too, like. Very narrow.
Be narrow, but
But
it's
that
not
was,
deep.
see the date,
If the
No, it is,
road
it goes.
doesn't come way
Yeah,
out.
one was.
that was approved years ago.
Mhm.
So all the town's policies have all changed since then.
And there's no house.
No,
It's just.
that's a vacant land.
Yeah, so it's not a buildable lot in our eyes right now anyway.
In this property here, is the house looking to be back in that area?
That's what he said.
Okay.
Yeah, the houses are coming here.
How was your property for, how long's your house been here first? How long?
26 years, I think.
26, okay.
26.
And did it perk well and all that?
Yeah.
Got a good well?
Yeah.
So,
But I'm not there yet. There's a lot of water.
right, yeah, you don't have to go far, you can almost point over.
And there's like, those wells.
Is
that have-
Go far, yeah.
Could we have Dave test if he's got anything?
Yeah, Dave,
Yeah.
you got anything? I don't.
Yeah. I have a problem with the 0 frontage. And then the long skinny lot, and I got a couple of suggestions, I guess, to take care of that ratio on lot A. make the back
Open it up.
portion bigger, so we could give opportunity for a house and a well and a septic system in that one area, which is
Yes,
the reason we have that, the 2 acre lot dimension in the first place. And the other one down to 0, boy, I have a problem with that.
this one here, there's no road frontage.
Lot 2A, and that could be done with a, say, I don't know which way north is, to the left side, looking at this map, a 60-foot strip on the front of Cemetery Road going back might leave a little less than 2 acres, but it would provide access to the back with frontage on the road in perpetuity. I know right now this is all family and friends, but that's going to change. And the town needs to look into the future on the impact of the changes we make. So those are a couple suggestions. At this point, I'm not in favor of the 0 front setback
Right.
in this case.
And that having an easement through this property for this property. Down the road that turns into have it with snow removal or whoever's plowing it, to be plowing snow onto their property and.
Right.
Dave, can we condition on the 130 on the number 5 road west side? Where they're looking for a 70-foot variance and the ratio is incorrect, not incorrect.
Yeah.
The ratio is not what we need. It's not 2.5 to 1.
Yeah.
And can we place a condition that they couldn't build on the skinny part? That would just be a driveway, that would just be an ingress to the property? I mean, I don't understand.
Could you get a well? I mean.
If you've got a
supposedly they needed
long,
well down
skinny
there
piece of land that's
for a septic.
just sitting there that takes you out to a real buildable lot.
Would you
I mean,
go
the
flat
driveway
lot?
is gonna be, that would have to be approved by Onondaga County, of course. But it's just a driveway that gets you out to that buildable lot, which you're over 2 acres. Is that, can we tell somebody where not to build?
Probably not. I mean, you got setbacks for a house. And I don't know how wide that parcel is. Is that 130 at the road?
130 at the road.
Right,
So if you straighten that out, it's about 100 feet wide. And can you squeeze a house in there with a driveway, a turnaround? Maybe. And then you'd have to have the well on one side and the septic on the other.
Can you say not to build there? To just make that an ingress all the way back to that property that's deeper. Where
So I
there's much
guess-
more, where it's 200, how wide is it back there? 204 in the back.
Right, yeah. So you've got almost an acre in the back. And then an acre of out to the frontage.
Hey, Dave, if I could jump in on that, what?
Yeah.
Kevin, I appreciate your point. If you made the back part of that a little bit bigger, if you did, that's gonna make that 2.5 to 1 ratio even worse. That's one downside to that.
But I think the 2.5 to 1 ratio is, the purpose of that is to not
Yeah, and you're saying,
build.
okay, and you're saying as long as they don't build on the skinny part. A couple things. I don't like the idea of landlocking that property. I mean, that's concerning to me.
well, having come through this.
Yeah.
See,
Then maybe
Yeah,
not approve
but-
that. Approve this.
That's,
Yeah, but either way, you're landlocking it. You're taking the 2 entrances and giving them to somebody else, and you've landlocked the main property.
right,
And
Yeah.
that doesn't,
you've
That doesn't
taken the
make
road
sense to me.
frontage away from this property.
for both.
Yep,
So I would say, even if you could take that lot A and make a little bigger area in the back. So it seems like it's better to build on. You have this skinny lot that is further away from that ratio, which is that important or not? I don't know, but that'd be further away from that. And the 70-foot variance needed even to do that. And then we're landlocking property. All those things together, that it doesn't make sense to me.
If we didn't approve this, she wouldn't be landlocked anymore.
If you did what?
If we didn't approve lot C.
No, you'd be landlocking it, other than an easement. You'd have an easement going through property C to get to property B.
But it's her lot right now. She's looking to cut it off, but if we didn't approve that, she'd still have her driveway.
Well, she has a driveway now,
Right.
but if we approve lot C to be subdivided,
That's what I'm saying. If we didn't
Well,
approve it and worked on this,
then we're back to where she is right now.
right, we worked on this other one here.
On A,
Yes.
And that's really your.
I'm more in
prerogative
favor of
is
C.
Either or.
If he was given a choice, he'd rather be over here.
That's what I'm, it's,
Yeah.
this is an either, you don't
Right.
need, you don't need both for them, you need one.
Right.
I think back to that lot A, the narrow front, it should, yeah, is kind of enforced by our regulations. If you put any size house in there at all and try and turn around, it's gonna be hard to do on the 90 feet.
I mean,
That's why I think opening up the back to a 200-foot square, for example, would encourage putting the house and all its appurtenances back there. And leaving that front as just a driveway. And that way, I think it
I struggle.
helps to satisfy that ratio of a skinny lot to a. If that were only 60 feet wide, we wouldn't be making this argument. It would be a 60-foot or a 50-foot strip. Because you obviously can't build in that 50-foot strip. So it's 100. Yeah,
30 foot. So if we left this alone and leave it with this property and give her a driveway up through, this property would need the 30 foot or, I'm sorry, 70 foot
variance.
and leave this alone, leave it part of
And
this
if we,
and let him cut this off so he can build here. I mean, it's 2.13 acres with road frontage. That's legal, right? That's a buildable lot.
yeah.
Yeah, no, they don't, there's no variance needed there, other
Right.
than if we allow lot A, then we've landlocked it, and now you have easements involved.
Right.
Which I'm not in favor of.
No, I'm not either. I mean, but if we didn't approve this and just keep it with this property and approve this, she'd have to put a driveway in, that's all.
That's a long driveway.
I've seen them longer.
And,
But it's a lot of money for that driveway.
and not for nothing,
But,
and if you look at.
I mean, you already have a driveway here.
Yeah.
So this line's not there right now.
No. This is all one big lot. Correct?
Yes.
I mean, again, it's essentially shaped the same way, and this is definitely not 2.5 to 1 either.
I mean, I'm not in favor, I've seen horror stories, heard horror stories of having a shared driveway through somebody else's property. It's all good now, I get it, family.
I would like to, I don't know if any of these neighbors are here, I would.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if we open it up to.
We're gonna open it up here.
Wait till we put a house behind those people's house.
Well, we already approved one, and that was my concern, because it was a driveway running right next to somebody's house. And because somebody was back
And they
there,
could do that anyway, they've got this access, they want to build a house back there, they can.
Can you put?
They don't
multiple
need
houses
this,
on
if they want, they got a driveway, they can say, they want to build a house anywhere
They
they want.
can't right now.
still have
They already
12
have a
acres of
house
property.
there, so they can't
yeah.
do anything.
Subdivide the 13.42. Make this 2 driveway, or make this come in and then,
But this would need road
They'd
frontage.
still need the road.
Well,
not
no,
have an easement.
if you split it, you'd have road frontage for here.
You'd still need 70 foot on 5 road.
Yes, yep.
Yeah.
If you split the
Split
lot,
it.
Yeah, I would like to hear if there's concerns
yep.
on getting back there. And then we'll discuss, I mean, there's, yes,
Because the driveway's already here.
for what's already there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you would have to allow that in your deed. The shared driveway.
But again, you're
many feet
you're
is it?
landlocking that property. Even with an easement, it's still landlocked.
If this goes away, if this is still part of this lot,
Yeah.
you got your road frontage back.
Yeah, but then you can't build.
You could if they. They'd still need, they'd have, but that's where they'd have to share the driveway,
Not,
which is not,
not desirable.
no.
How far is it? That's only goes back from here. Yeah, this driveway right here is over 400 feet.
That's a Pompey driveway.
That's, yeah. Let's see, where's the west window?
That's not. That's not long.
No.
Not different.
If you take lot C today and put a 60 or even a 40-foot strip along that left side, that does not take in the whole driveway. But today, that could be an easement, an agreement between the two parties. If ever that agreement goes away, and one of them gets mad at the other one, or if they have to sell, it wouldn't take too much to change the driveway. But it's still, because they have ownership, so they could change that driveway.
Dave, if I understand you, you're saying there's enough road frontage on lot C that you could have a driveway that stands alone to property B?
I'm not sure. I can't,
Because 170 and 80 is 250, 60 feet.
oh, okay,
So you could carve off 50 feet mathematically for for a second driveway.
yeah. But the driveway that's there can stay as long as they're friendly. If they want to have an agreement between the two parties, that's their business. As far as the town is concerned, we've created a usable lot with access to the rear.
Subdivision includes a 50-foot driveway from cemetery.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead and have a seat, and we'll see if there's any public comment on this. All right, we're gonna open up for public comments. If anybody's got anything to say, state your name, your address to the.
I have a letter from the one neighbor, Barb
Donna Chuck.
Daly, who.
I'm sorry.
Whoops,
Okay.
do that
Your
again.
names again?
Donna Green, Chuck Green,
Okay, thank you. And your address?
7634, number 5 West Road.
And
Thank
we have two other pieces of property, I believe, that are on.
Yes.
Yeah, we're looking at now.
And who is the letter from, did you say? It's from Barbara Daly, DALY, adjacent property owner.
All over here.
She couldn't make it. It was kind of short notice that we got the stuff and she wanted to make sure that she was. So she is saying, as property owner adjacent to the proposed variance, I'm concerned that this requested variance is a deviation from established zoning standards designed to protect the community. Allowing this variance sets a precedent for future deviations by neighboring property owners. As such future deviations may cause an undesirable change in the area and character of the area and neighboring property. She's listening, so if I get this wrong, she can let me know. While consideration of my neighbors is important to me, it is also important to balance the benefit of the applicant with the health and welfare of all, and raises the question if the benefit could perhaps be achieved by other means without such a substantial variance. Water supply issues also need to be considered as population is allowed to densify in the area. In sum, while I understand the need for variances, this application requests a substantial deviation from the zoning standards And I encourage the committee to consider the implications to the area and how to accommodate the applicants with changes that are closer aligned with the established zoning standards. I have a copy of the letter if you'd like, please.
And I forgot to ask the question, forgive me. All the fees were paid
Yes.
and the flyers were mailed out?
Mhm.
Okay,
And this property would be next to, her property is the big 20-something acres. It's next to the lot A. So it'd be a direct neighbor. So we went through and looked at some of the considerations to the benefit achieved by other means feasible. And we're unsure of how to solve the problem is to me, it does seem to be an issue of after the fact wanting to subdivide a piece of property that was following the zoning when they purchased. So that is one question. It was already, they knew what the zoning was and the deviation of how to, the subdividing was not really an option given the road frontage based on our zoning. So I don't know if there's additional property that can be purchased to allow more proper road frontage to follow with the zone. Under considering undesirable changes to the neighborhood, character or detriment to the neighborhood, existing zoning rules and regulations are put in place to protect all property owners, ourselves included and all of our neighbors. We built in that area based on the zoning, the protections that were given to us by the zoning, so that we would not, we moved from a neighborhood to Pompey because we want to live in a rural area. We don't want to be in a subdivision with a lot of people around us. And that we're afraid that if this is opened up for one and such large variances are made, that other neighbors with property are going to take the opportunity and try to do the same thing. And that will totally change the look of our neighborhood. The other substantial request is the fact that we are worried about well and water. We have a very large entertainment system not far from us.
Compared to the dairy farms, we don't. need
And the
any-
dairy farms
We are-
and other things that, and our well
We're
has changed since we moved there.
It's, yeah, we
Considerably.
put quite a bit of money into it this past year.
Yeah.
Just
so
because the
we're
water
worried
table
that-
has dropped already. I mean, I'm not a geologist or what have you, but things have changed. Just then I'm not faulting the farm went in, they do their thing,
Yep.
but the water has changed. So that's my biggest concern.
And then the other thing that we're worried about is what you brought up, septic, wells, all those things and how that will impact our property as well. The other thing that I was a little bit worried about was the traffic congestion. You've got the Fillinger's driveway, you've got a new proposed driveway, you've got the Daly's driveway, and then right across the road, you have Hillside Marsh. And that is a dangerous curve right there.
Bailey's don't live there.
She has 20-something, she's the one who I read the first letter from. She has 20-something acres and she's looking to subdivide her property as well. And they have an existing driveway that's already in there. Okay. So there is congestion right there. And that is a dangerous curve and people go too fast. So
is there a speed limit on that road?
what's that?
Is there a speed?
There is, I think there's 50 or 55.
No, that's not.
It's not posted.
I
It's
think
not
your house
posted.
is on the curve, our property. would be on the
But
curve.
you have a blind curve right before your driveway, if you come our way.
Yeah, I would agree. I
Yeah.
Some area in number 5
That's a
rule,
very, it's,
why there isn't a stop sign there, I don't
So
know.
there's a suggested speed on that road, but there's no posted speed limit.
right.
Okay.
you kind of have a curve from both sides,
You do,
really.
you
At
actually have a little bit of
at that
blindness, yeah.
Location of the access, it is straight, but just before there's a curve, and then on the other side, you come down a hill from.
Right, and that would be like 3 driveways in across the road in a row and obviously the 2 driveways are gonna be really close together if you give that variance of 70 feet.
What's the line of sight requirement for a driveway?
That you'd have to contact the county or the town official.
There is a line of sight requirement.
There is a line of sight requirement. Offhand, I don't know it. But when you ask for a driveway, permit, they will come out and they judge it by the speed limit. That's one of the factors they take in.
Unposted, you said? I don't know.
No, it's not posted. I'm just curious about.
So it's a 55-mile-an-hour road.
Yeah.
If they have the line of sight, then the curves are irrelevant to an extent.
Yeah, that is up to their discretion on that.
Those are our concerns, and I guess alleged difficulty is self-created in that category. As we stated, when the applicant purchased the property of zoning regulations were in place. And if they were planning future subdivision, then maybe that wasn't the piece of property that they should have chosen. So we obviously have some concerns.
Okay, all right.
Anybody else?
Thank you.
No, I'm Sue Billinger.
Hang it. And your address?
7674, number 5 West Road. And they were talking about putting a driveway up the side of off number 5 road, right? If you want to put a driveway up the top, which seems like from my kitchen, it's right over there. And I prefer not to have the driveway there because with kids around and things like that. And plus the fact, the value of the house is gonna happen when you wanna sell the house and you have to say, well, there's a driveway there that runs all the way up back. That's liable to do a little damage. But I'm just not happy about the driveway inside. Should be putting up straight up. That's my concern.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
Doug Wheeler, I own 2022 Cemetery Road. I guess I'd like some clarification on what Site 1C proposal is.
There's a driveway that goes up
To their property already.
already. There's an existing driveway that goes up to their house.
So that's all.
The application is to subdivide that road frontage off into a separate parcel. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes,
So if you
For what purpose?
for them to build a house.
Okay, so essentially we'd be taking one parcel of land that's currently 17 acres with one house on it and putting 3 on it.
That's what they're requesting.
No, two.
No,
Two houses.
one.
Well, then why?
Not one in each.
Well, it'd be-
Potentially
It's
three.
potentially 3.
Yeah, because you're having a 2-acre building lot over here off of 5 Road and a 2-acre building lot off of Cemetery.
Right,
So you are opening up the door to 3 potential
One
houses.
existing house and 2 new ones is what they're asking for.
Okay,
Or the variance to be able to do that.
okay, so that is the intention. Would be to have 3 houses on that parcel of land.
Not necessarily, we're just looking for 3 subdivisions.
Yeah, but
If the
subdivision-
variances were approved, then that could
Makes
happen,
it
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess the objection I would have to that then. The way the houses are laid out right now, we're essentially side by side, with the exception of where their house is located at. There is a substantial amount of noise generated behind us already, and it's constant. If we add another one, the house off 5 Road is gonna be right behind Dick and Sue's house, Green's house, you're gonna have more noise. If we add yet another house right next to where I'm at, you're going to have, at least up by the road, kind of in the line where the rest of us are and whatnot. I suppose less noise generated from that one, but then you are landlocking their house in the back. That would be my concern with it. Putting 3 houses on essentially 17 acres of land. That's, I don't know, not needed. Not quite the same as these guys subdividing 30 some acres of land.
in your house, sir, where's your house?
What number?
My house is still registered through the county as being owned by David Cherry Lane. But I,
Okay,
So it's right next to the one next to the driveway.
right next to their driveway.
Yeah.
Yep, yeah.
I just think it's funny how everyone talking have like 2-acre parcels or less, and
I don't
Well,
think that,
the
I don't
rule
think
was
the
changed.
acreage is-
yeah,
Yeah.
the rule has changed on that.
We
That's,
have a lot of road frontage.
we can't go back on that. That's,
I believe David Cherry and Barb Langer listening in as well and have something to say.
Oh,
Is there-
okay. Oh, is-
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. There is a comment here from Jerry Lang,
She doesn't live here anymore. She sold her house.
2038 Cemetery Road,
That's their parents. next
Barbara
door.
Lane.
Your parents are, yeah, right there.
Just got notice today, this will cause an undesirable environmental view for my property and could cause a reduction in home value.
I agree to that.
Adding additional housing will change the look and zoning for our town. Would this not cause stress on the well system for neighbors? At the time of purchase, they were made aware of the zoning laws. If their son wants to move to Pompey, there are land lots for sale.
That the only one, Veronica?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Anyone else?
I think that's about all the neighbors around.
Everybody's, okay, everybody's
A
listening.
lot of people didn't get their letters in the mail until today,
Yeah,
so they
it
were
was
not able to
very
make
short
it.
notice.
David Cherry got theirs today, Barb got hers today.
Well, they're in Florida.
She sent them in the time that we require.
Right?
Ours is dated December 20th, but we didn't get it until Thursday.
I know the neighbor across the street from me got theirs.
Hell doesn't get up the poppy cook. Right? Well, any more discussion from the board with this?
Couple questions. One is, in this area, we're always concerned about water. We all are. But I think we've had a discussion on a different property a while back where water is not something we can consider. And I was going to ask Dave Tessier if he had an opinion on that.
We can't determine the septic or the water.
2 acres, you can build on 2 acres and I mean, 200 feet of road frontage, you build a house for everyone.
To discuss what you had said, I know for a fact, I have a lot that, the well had changed. When 2 parcels down, somebody had pounded their well
Yeah.
years ago. And it disturbed the aquifer to where I needed more equipment to make mine drinkable, potable.
Yep.
So I do know, but there was nothing I could do about it.
Yeah.
Right.
That was a building lot, he built. He went looking for water and it changed down there. But Dave,
The water is very inconsistent in this town. The sub-layer is not uniform. So you can go across the street and get a totally different well. And it just happens. That's one reason we went with the 2 acre lot many years ago, and I mentioned that before, is to make room for a house and a septic and a well. And the county would like to say, and for the replacement septic system. So the town has made that effort to recognize the need for fresh water for all homeowners. We do need to be aware of it. And the board's planning and zoning both pay attention to that need for a well and a septic system with house and outbuildings.
and I think if I'm right, the well has to be 100 feet from the septic.
Yes, unless it's separated by a house, and it could be a little less.
Yes. Here again, if they had a 2 acre lot with road frontage, we wouldn't be here. That's, I mean,
Yes,
they'd be
Right.
drilling their well and putting their septic in.
yeah.
That's ridiculous. Let's see.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave, can I ask you a question? If we took lot A off the table, just for the sake of my
Yep.
question,
Yep,
and they wanted to subdivide lot C
Mhm.
out, so we're taking one parcel and making it two parcels. Right? Because it's one parcel now,
Yep.
and we're looking to take lot C. Do they need a variance to put a house on lot C? If we disregard lot A. They have the road frontage. So,
Yeah, it's a building lot. It's got 200, it's got 2 acres, over 2 acres with road frontage.
so if they wanted to subdivide and take that lot as a potential building lot, there's no variance needed.
Correct.
But would you need one for
But,
B?
but then you'd have to change this property B would need road frontage
Yeah.
off of
Okay, that's
number
what-
5 road.
Okay, that's where I was going.
So they would need a variance.
But the road frontage on lot C is approximately 250 feet.
Mhm.
They only need 200.
Right.
Could the subdivision allow for property B to have a driveway through C and not an easement? Or would that require a variance?
Still need one.
It's road,
Still need an easement.
an easement,
Road,
it's
yeah.
on their property.
No, I'm saying don't have it on their property. Don't have it the way this is drawn.
Right.
So you
Hey,
got two separate
You'd move that
road
driveway
frontages,
over.
one's 50 feet and the other one's 200.
Yes.
The
And the
one with the
50 feet
50 feet,
gets
so
you,
then you
gets
get,
you into the existing house. The one that's on the property now.
Mhm.
And the one that's on the 200 feet, they have road frontage and they don't need a variance.
But B
so
would
would they be
still
applying
need
for a
one.
variance of 150 feet?
To get the driveway in, that's where I was going.
Yeah.
Okay, so in that, so we take a little sliver out of C and give it to lot B, they still need 150-foot variance to put that driveway in.
Yeah, road frontage.
Unless,
You could
unless
count
you,
the,
because it's already an established lot. And that road frontage is,
Well, wait a minute. You've already,
It's like- it's
you've
an
got
easement.
road frontage already 170 over here. They would just need an easement.
130.
you have 130.
Oh, I'm sorry, 130. They need 70 foot for road
Okay.
frontage.
Okay, so they could put a driveway in on number 5 road. But they'd still need,
Still needs some.
they'd still need a 70-foot variance.
But I'm
Yeah.
saying, yes, you can leave that alone as road front, reduce it to the 170. And have an easement off this property with required with.
Yeah, but I'd like to stay away from the easement if possible.
No, I understand that,
Okay, so
but we did that, oh, did we? No, I can't remember.
I can't remember what we
Yeah.
did, but we did
We
something.
did something on Ridge here.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
So I guess,
that would be a costly driveway for them.
yeah, it'd be a costly driveway to go up through lot A.
Yeah,
They'd still need the variance of 70 feet.
yeah,
And if we went through lot C, they'd still need 150 variance.
yes,
Well,
yeah.
I don't, those variances would be very substantial for me, and I don't like leaving that property landlocked with an easement.
No, I agree.
In defense of the applicant, I do think that just because what those zoning laws were when you bought the property, things do change, life changes. I mean, I get that.
And you did say you've been there 26 years? That's when you built?
Yeah.
So that was the new laws were in place then, 26 years ago.
Yeah.
Was that, I think it changed in 90. Can't remember. When they went to the 2-acre lot.
Well, the 2 acres again was to protect septic and wells.
Yep.
Um,
And give it, and the road front as well, so you
Right.
weren't on top of one another.
I personally, I don't see, I mean, I always try and find a way to do this.
That's what we're here to, but I can't see it's beating on each lot pretty good.
Travis, you don't want to sell 150 feet of road frontage?
No, I paid enough for that. No,
So if you went this way,
Oh, this is this,
so you got 250 here.
oh, Drexel,
So if you do another 50 here, you'd have 400, you get 200, so you got 200 here, you get 200 here.
yeah,
And that would stay the same, we just put one in. And that could pick them up, I mean, just however you wanted to, wherever you wanted to put it. You still have to get. And if this, forget that line there, so this goes up, I mean, you just need another 2 acres.
Yeah.
I mean, that's gonna get split, but that line's gonna be gone, so this 2.13 would be gone, that line's gone, so this would just be one thing.
Mhm.
And then depending on how you wanted to cut this over, you came over here 200 feet. There's 250, so you got 50 feet here, you need another 150 here to go up. What do you just want?
Right. Let me, read the, seeker thing, we'll get that over with.
I think we've heard from the applicant, their desires. I think the applicant has heard from us our concerns. Unless the board is ready to vote, and I think if they were, this would probably be denied. Which the board could do, we can vote. But if we wish, we could give them some other time to think about some of these options we've talked about and come back with an amended plan.
Okay,
There's a suggestion. You might ask ask the applicant what they think about it. If they could come up with something different in a month, we can come back. If not, we can vote tonight.
okay. We need a motion to close the public hearing. Did I do that last time?
Can I just ask a question?
Yeah.
There's a house on Watervale Road that's on the Pompey Manlius line. I know that that is not 200 feet of frontage, and it's not like big enough, not even 2 acres. Can you explain how that was approved? Possibly?
The lot size was approved many years ago.
That's what it was.
Yeah, it was a lot
Yeah.
needed
Yeah.
road.
It was, the house was just built like
Yep.
this year.
But that lot had been granted years ago,
Yeah.
so it was already established.
How many?
And what they
years ago?
redid, it came back to being like a 7-foot variance after they had to move the
Yeah,
garage.
they had to turn the garage.
Okay. Cause I see that and I know it's not 200 feet, like when I go down there. Not even close.
Actually, the variance wasn't the road front.
No, yeah, it was setback.
The setback.
I think they had the frontage.
Yeah. And then when they put the house
They
in,
had built it and then they applied for the variance. After it was already built, we denied variance.
Yeah, I think it was, ended
So they
up being
tear
a
off the garage.
7-foot.
Yes.
From that front north corner of the house.
There wasn't a variance for the road frontage.
No,
no,
no, it was a,
Side yard setback.
yeah.
I think it's like, what's the acreage? I,
Variance.
I don't have the paperwork in front of me, I can't.
Okay, let's close the meeting.
But, if we're ready to,
be close to 2 acres, I know.
we're gonna close the meeting,
Close public hearing.
close a public meeting, sorry. And, deliberate a little more. We still need to do this, correct?
Well, I guess at this point, we need to know if we are making a decision on this app, or if the applicant wants to, if we want to table it and have the applicants do a revised application, or.
I prefer to vote on it tonight. And can we use our 5 steps there?
Yep.
Yeah, and we have to do the seeker too.
Okay.
So yeah, there's those 2 steps. And then if
Okay.
we want, and then the applicant can submit a new application if they wish.
Do it, okay, if we're gonna.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
get the speaker out of the way.
Just go ahead and close it.
Public
We-
Make
we-
a
we
motion
make
to
a motion.
close the public hearing.
There you go.
Okay, and then we'll do the seeker questions, and then we'll do the 5.
Is there a second for the,
Second.
all in favor, say yay.
Yay.
Hey,
Aye, okay. All right. All right, you want
Do you want
to
me
do
to do
it?
it?
You got it.
First question, will the proposed action, and so to be clear, we're talking about all of the variances that have been presented as a part of this application tonight, when we're looking at these questions. Okay. Will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use plan or zoning regulations? So it's either gonna be no or small impact or moderate to large impact.
Would you say alert,
I'm sorry, I
blanket?
plugged up.
Yes.
Please, I'm thinking.
Yeah, will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use plan or zoning regulation?
Yes.
Yes.
The moderate, yeah.
Next question, will the proposed action result in a change in the use or intensity of use of land? No or small or moderate to large?
Small.
I would go with small.
Small,
Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community?
I find that one's, more significant.
it's just doing a lot here to make it work.
The moderate to large?
Yes.
Yes.
Will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of a critical environmental area?
No.
No.
Now,
Will the proposed action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkways?
No.
I say no, even though there was comments, but it's not,
I think it is a funky road there, but I can't say major change. There's no buses and trains going through there.
Yeah.
no, not business.
Will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonably available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities?
No, or minor.
I would
Yeah,
say minor.
it wouldn't. You're not gonna draw any more, not much electricity, you just already power there.
Next question, will the proposed action impact existing public or private water supplies or public or private wastewater treatment utilities?
We don't know,
Private wells, maybe.
no one have,
So small impact for both?
yeah,
Small is fine because we don't really know.
we don't know. That's a roll of dice when you drill a well.
I live out here.
Yeah,
Um,
number 8.
And to be clear too, just for the record for that question, we are talking about the variances on the proposed subdivision lines, not on like a site application where we would have information on drilling, so
Right.
that's why we can say no to small.
Okay,
Okay, will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources?
no,
No.
Okay, will the proposed action result in an adverse change to natural resources, examples, wetlands, water bodies, groundwater, air quality, flora, and fauna?
no, small.
No.
Yep.
Will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems?
No.
No, not today.
Okay, will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health?
No.
No.
Okay,
Okay.
so on 2 of the questions, first being, will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use plan or zoning regulation? And will the proposed action impair the character and quality of the existing community? The board's determined that a moderate to large impact may occur. Those 2.
Yeah.
So the board will have to make a motion as to the determination of significance. So it sounds like there are 2 moderate to large impacts. So that would be a positive declaration if the board feels that way. And so the only way, if the board decided to move forward with an approval, would be that mitigating factors would have to be presented. So board doesn't have plenty of time, then, the board's welcome to discuss the use variance criteria and then make a vote on the decision. So the next step would be to make a motion for a positive declaration of for purposes of secret.
Okay. We have a motion for that.
Yes, a motion for a positive declaration of the seeker requirement.
Based on your seeker analysis, it's determined that this will have an adverse impact on two of the components we discussed, so this is positive.
Okay. We have a second.
I kind of made that motion.
I'll second.
Second, Dave seconds. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right,
So next we'll.
next, to discuss the criteria. All right, the balancing test. The Board of Appeals shall balance benefit to the applicant was determined to the health, safety, and welfare of the community. And the Board of Appeals shall also consider, number one, whether the benefit can be achieved by other means feasible to the applicant. And much as we discussed it, we can't really achieve any other way of making this work.
Well, the
I
applicant's
think-
asking for 3 building lots.
Right, I think they
And
could,
is there any other way to make that work other than the application? I would say no.
Yeah, no, it's. Number two, the undesirable change in the neighborhood character or the determinant of the nearby properties.
Probably not.
I don't see her also have much. Okay. And number blushing, number three, whether the request is substantial.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a big yeah. Or whether the request will have adverse physical or environmental effects.
Not really.
I don't see, this.
I would lean towards minimal.
And, the last,
Although again, water wise, we don't
we
know.
don't know, yeah, it's. And, the last one, and we all know, whether the alleged difficulty is self-created, which is relevant,
Yeah.
but not determined, yeah, so, yes.
Yes.
Self-created. So those are what we judge a lot of our decisions on. So we need a motion one way or the other.
Well, I would say based on everything we've talked about tonight and what I've seen and heard, I think as a board, we always try and find a way to positively help people and find a way to do what they
Right.
like to do. And in this case, I feel like the variances needed to do these projects is very, very significant. And I don't like the idea of landlocking a property. And I don't like the variance it would take to not have it landlocked. So I'm gonna say, no, I'd like to deny the application.
And I need a second.
I'll second.
A second. More discussion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. And so application's been denied.
And the applicant has the right to bring a new application back to us if they find a different way to look at it.
Yep, exactly.
Doug, are your driveways, can they come out to cemetery or number 5?
Say that again.
There's three properties that have Lang on this map.
Where it is.
Mine comes on cemetery. Mine is literally parallel.
Down the.
Down here. Are the others? This guy, yeah.
The one that comes out the 5 road is just.
Real quick, I need a motion to close the meeting.
I'll make a motion.
Got a motion, second? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.